Hello, everyone. Welcome to Owen County Soil and Water Conservation District's monthly meeting, our November meeting. We are waiting for a couple of board members. The agenda, we did post that online. If you're able to, if you follow us on Facebook, that's great. Website, that's great. It should be a short and sweet meeting. It's a little bit stormy outside, so we'd like people to get home safe. So just your patience, please, and I'll let you know when we start. Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and start talking until we have a quorum. Right now, we have two supervisors with us. Tim Dunphy. His is a position that will be coming open. And then we have Doris Scully, and she's stuck with me for 3 years. Yes! And yeah, she's not going anywhere. We do have some new people here, so I'll go ahead and share who I am, and then if we can just go around. I'm Tammy Bingham, Director of Owen County Soil and Water Conservation District.
I'm Kyle Hannon. I'm the Project Manager for the My Path Trail, which is the trail here. We have, there are new faces here. It's sort of a unique partnership. The Soil and Water, the My Path Trail is a project of the Community Foundation. So we need this nice amenity, we need this great trail. And they partnered with the Soil and Water and said, look, if you have the land, we can pay for additional parts of land and keep running the trail along here. It's been a real popular thing. If you've not had a chance to get out there yet, you should do so. And if you don't want to do the whole thing, there are benches along the way. It's not real long right now, but it's been a really nice addition to the community. And we really appreciate the partnership with the Soil and Water Conservation District.
I am Brian Schmickens, and we are somewhat new to Owen County, so here we are.
G-Man Schmickens. What?
Where'd you guys come from?
Video County.
And so where do you live at in the county?
So we live in Poland,
Oh.
right off on Lower Road. It's definitely time to get out of the city.
We love it out here. I'm Erin Batziger. I'm with the NRCS. I'm the Owen County District Conservationist.
I'm Holden April. I work with the Indiana State Department of Agriculture. I'm a resource specialist covering Owen County and a couple others in the central part of the state.
I'm Amy Arnold, and I'm Conservation Outreach with Soil and Water.
I'm Aaron Dunn. I made my family farm, Southern Owen, and just here to check to see what this is all about.
Towards Scully, just came on the board because I retired in December, and now I'm on with my friends.
And I'm Tim Dunphy, and I'm just going to be finishing up my second term on as a supervisor, and then there's that position is, as Tammy said, going to be open to be filled in February, and we're in January this year, February.
Excellent.
Yeah, so glad to see people are getting back to work, and no, they're not.
Slow going.
Yeah,
Slow
slow
going.
Yeah,
Back in.
well, keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Okay, well, everyone on Zoom, are you able to hear us?
Yes.
Okay, if I can beg your patience, I know that there are two people that are still on the way here. I'd like to go ahead, we have some guest speakers, they can go ahead and just share their reports so that they can leave. So if you don't mind me doing that, would that be all right?
Sure, yeah, we can go ahead, and if you're recording, we can share this later with the folks that aren't there yet.
Okay. And I am recording.
Okay, great.
So I guess real quick, because I know Kyle needs to leave and Aaron needs to leave. Do you want to go ahead and do that then?
I got some for you.
Okay. They're going to be really brief, and then I'll go ahead and jump on you all.
Oh, I see. I thought you wanted us to go ahead, but yeah, no, you all go ahead. We've got time. We can
Okay.
wait. And I'd love to hear your updates anyway.
Okay, thank you. Kyle Hannon with, My Path Trail System.
Okay, well, thanks. I'm glad I said what my path was, but again, it's a neat trail. It starts right outside that door, but it's even a longer thing that connects with shared surface and stuff. Eventually, the dream of my path from the start was to connect the family YMCA on the west edge of town to McCormick Creek State Park, which is on the east end of town. To do that with an off-road trail that people can use, that pedestrians and bicycles can use. And they use a lot of shared sidewalks. You know, for instance, the sidewalk on the east side of Main Street is my path. There you go. We put labels on it and things. But then when we came down here, we got a grant, on this side of the river, we got a grant to pave a section, and it's only like 0.7 miles long, but it includes a very expensive bridge over Ellison Creek. And it includes a lot, and it's a beautiful bridge, and it's a neat trail that we're really proud of. The thought is, we still need to get to McCormick Creek State Park. And then the other part is, we don't really want to start there because they're building trails and all connections over in Monroe County and coming this direction. And it seems to me we go to the McCormick Creek State Park and then we go beyond that to meet up at Flatwoods Park in Monroe County. And you have a huge, you're going to have a huge trail system. We had a study done recently. What is the economic impact of the trails? And it is some. I mean, local use is about $10 a day, and some regional use is about, I don't know, you think about $40 a day, and out of town visitors, it's over $100 a day for that of the economic impact. Well, the other thing that has happened is you're all aware of the huge storm that wiped out there we go. That wiped out the campground at McCormick Creek State Park. Well, there was a real financial impact to that, to the community. The loss of sales and things in Spencer was pretty significant. Lo and behold, though, they did, after not getting any funding to rebuild the campground, they did recently. The state budget committee said, we're going to put $25 million into rebuilding that campground, which will be enough. It will rebuild it. So that was news. And then as there's an advisory board, a My Path advisory board, so as the members are paying attention to, okay, how do we do this and where we want to go and how do we make this connection? And then with the announcement that the campground was going to open up, and we asked Dwight Brooks, who's the property manager, said, realistically, when will that be? He said, he's pretty confident that 2028 would be a decent time. Like, okay, that is our goal. I want to connect this trail to McCormick Creek State Park by 2028. So that's the thing that we're going to be working on really hard, to try to have an actual timeline down that we can do that. So we're working with McCormick Creek on what routes. We have a pretty good idea what route we ought to take, kind of a main one where we go under the bridge at 46 and then on up. But in talking with Dwight at the park, there are at least 3 other ones that we might consider. So anyway, we'll be working on that, so our route to get to the park, and then we will consider how to get down to connect to Monroe County. Along those lines, the Department of Health has come out with planning grants that you can get to come up with a plan, which is, there's one thing, I can sit around here all day. I'm happy to do it and draw maps. It might be nice to talk to the actual property owners to see if they want a trail coming through their property, or at least next to it, or something. So the planning grant helps you do that. It involves the community and get people involved, because this has always been a community trail. And I've applied for this planning grant. I hope we get it, because it gives some resources into actually saying, okay, here's a trail that will work. People understand. And it won't be engineered drawings yet, but it gives you a route that is going to be acceptable to the public. And we're going to be working on that. So we will find out at the beginning of December if that happens, if we get that planning grant. If not, then I'll find another source, because it's important to do. The other thing, also on the grant front, we did apply to the Department of Natural Resources. I thought they had no money, but they have this thing called, because Next Level Trails has no money anymore. That's how we funded this paved section, but that thing doesn't exist. But they do have this Indiana Trails program. Like, well, holy cow, that might take us. We might be able to use this. That's the plan, to go from where our My Path paved section is now to connect to the DNR boat launch, which is another third mile, half mile. It takes us that much closer. Because right now we are less than 2 miles from the gatehouse. And this will take us even closer. So the thought is that we can do this. We have a plan to try to connect to get, to connect to 1375 River Road. They want to sell us that property and we'd like to buy it. And we're moving in that direction. And if we don't get the grant, the foundation has a pretty good plan B in mind. So we really think we're gonna have some success to at least get that section done. It'll be bicycles we'll just share the road because the topography is crazy. You can't really build an extra paved lane in there. So we can share the road, and then for the footpath, we have a foot trail that will go through soil and water property to connect with the boat launch and to connect to River Road, which then if we get that, then there's the house right there that we can use for office space, program space, something like that. So that is our goal moving forward. I think it's going to happen. And then I wanted to bring up, and you don't have to vote on this, is that the sections along what we've been able to do, the foundation gets the property and deeds it over to the Soil and Water Conservation District. I don't know if you're interested, and also if we get this next section, if that you might consider, if you're interested, maybe taking that on, including the house at 1375. But just, you don't have to tell me now, but if you could at least consider, if we want to do that the way we've done before. If not, then the foundation will own it.
Do you have pros and cons on doing it one way or the other that come to mind?
So, I'm trying to think what the cons would be. I don't think you have any problem of using, if we were to have that house and use it to rent kayaks out of or something like that. I don't think you would have any problems if revenue came through. I don't think you have any opposition to that. I think I don't. The only concern is what is Owen County going to do with the with the soil and water office moving forward, and I don't think any of us know that. That's probably the main con I can think of. I don't know if, and because I hadn't really talked to you yet too, you might have some other cons in mind and you don't really want to do it, but that's kind of how I see it.
I was under the impression that the community foundation cannot own property. So that's why we've always done it this way, is because the community foundation can't own property, so really there's no other option.
Right.
But if the community foundation, that you're saying that'd be plan B is them owning it, then why haven't they done that before, would be my question, if they can own property.
Well, I think it's a different interpretation now, the different folks looking at it. So indeed we could, and it would be that and if we decide to go with what we've been doing, it's just they would find, again, another purchasing option as they have before to deed it over to you folks. So that's my only thought, is this started happening pretty quickly. I thought, well, I haven't really had a chance to talk to the board, the Soil and Water Board yet, to see if they're still interested in it. We could probably still do that if there's no opposition, but I'm not assuming that you're going to go with it, that you want it.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I was up to this point, that's what it was always just kind of sold, well, they didn't have another option, so the Soil and Water just kind of took it on.
Right.
But if there's another option, I think as a board, we'll have to talk about it and figure out if that's something that, have you already got an agreement from the
We have
property
agreement
owners?
from the property owners.
So they're ready to sell anytime the community foundation's ready to buy it.
Right. And at this point, and I'm still waiting, when will we find out? I don't know, from the DNR, I don't know. I'm hoping December, it was due in October, so. I was trying to remember how long it took them to let us know about the next level trail. So it could be something that there are, some neat reasons you might want to have it. I mean, again, because your programming is expanding greatly, and here's another location you can have it with a really cool deck. It's a neat property.
But then than any property, comes with also more responsibility and insurance and all that stuff. So there's also cost involved with another property too.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
in my opinion, as a board is, I know Steve's not here, so we should probably table this to the next meeting and discuss it and figure out how we want to do that. But that's, I guess.
And I'm happy with that. I did not expect it again tonight, but I just wanted to bring it up to you because I had not had a chance yet. And I think it's certainly worth considering. And again, it's a cool property. I don't know if you've had a chance to go down on that section of the trail along River Road down low. There's a feature down there I refer to as the limestone ledge, just because alliteration sticks with me. But it's a limestone thing. It's about 8 feet wide. It's limestone shelf, 8 feet wide, and about 2 football fields long. It's like 650 feet long. It's pretty pretty cool. People go down there right now for fishing and doing whatever. I think that would be the trail, which of course would be underwater sometimes, but it's certainly dry now. Well, not today, but it's certainly above the water
And
now.
it is easy. An old woman like myself can access it.
Yeah,
And he would make more nice downsteps and all. And real quick, Steve is on his way, by the way.
Great.
As a
Okay.
contact.
Sounds good.
any other questions about that or something? And sorry to drop it on you, but again, it came pretty quickly and they were thinking that they would get it. It's been working real well with the soil and water having it, so maybe we need to continue working with
Yeah,
that.
like I said, we just need to discuss it and as a
Absolutely.
board and figure out if that's how we want to move forward.
Absolutely.
But we'll definitely keep in the loop.
Good deal. Thanks. I appreciate that.
Thanks.
Were you about to ask a question?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Any questions for Kyle?
Good presentation.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I've got a chair for Steve when you're right.
Okay.
Morgan, I left you a voicemail saying, are you coming? So I
Oh,
guess
yeah,
you are.
my son's got my phone in the truck, yeah.
So, we do have you learned three guests yet?
Well, I know Aaron already. Yeah, I feel like I've seen you somewhere before, but I don't know where you guys.
Okay,
So,
Jean Ann, and then this is Brian,
Okay.
and, they're, all three of them are, well, I guess all two of you are interested in the supervisor position, or
Great.
at least being like an associate, interested in seeing what's happened. I know you've seen Jean Ann, because she's been very active in a lot of our events.
Okay,
If I'm correct, we met at the Garden Club. Yeah, and then the rest is history.
Great.
And, it's just very exciting.
so we have three, so all three folks are interested in,
Well, I think you're just here as a group, right?
Yes.
Okay, so-
So, Jean Ann.
I just want to be more involved and
Great.
help out.
yes, oh, that's great,
I'm hands-on.
for sure. No, we're excited and we'll definitely be glad, always happy to have more people involved in learning about what we're doing, for sure, so thank you guys for coming.
We do have the STAR group on here about the STAR program. I don't know if the supervisors, if you had a chance to look at that link I had sent out so that you could
I have
check it
not.
out online. Okay, I do also have this too.
Okay.
You may be familiar with the Village League Pig was involved. It's up to you if you want to wait till Steve gets here. This is being recorded. I know that Aaron needs to be, Kyle.
See you, Kyle.
I thought, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll go ahead and go through some of our other updates and then we'll have them, if that's okay. So was
Okay.
Kyle our first update?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So Aaron, you can go ahead and give us an update on RCS.
Mine's a lot shorter. We're back after a little break. Yay! There is a deadline for Farm Bill programs. If you're applying for EQIP and CSP, we're going to do everything all at once. December 19th is what they have for us right now for application deadlines. That's just getting an application to us. Ranking and all that stuff will be much later. And it may get pushed back, they're not sure yet. And it sounds like the Sentinel project, the RCPP for the Sentinel is done. So they don't entirely know what they're gonna do with some of those projects. I don't think Owen County, there's a little sliver of Owen County that's in it, but I don't think we have any that actually are in that RCPP, if that makes sense. So, there's other RCPPs with different dates and stuff, but none of them include Owen County, and so that's pretty much it for right now, is that, and then we were trying to get stuff, CSP and EQIP payments out, our systems are taking a little longer to come up than it took to go down, so I'm hoping to get all those done, here in real quickly in the next couple weeks, so.
So EQIP is an environmental quality incentives program. And so that's what she uses when she goes out and plans with producers and uses that to help financially
Share.
assist with practices that they decide to do on their plan. And then the CSP program is a stewardship program. And that is again, something she'll work with you in planning of your farm. If it's at a certain level, then you get reimbursed for those efforts.
And we can help out with a variety of things. We help out with ag land, we help out with pasture, we help out with forest land, all kinds of stuff,
Well,
so.
invasives, I know that you have a problem like that. And then, did the buffalo person call you?
No, I don't think so.
Someone called, they were looking for buffalo programs. And she thought that NRCS had something.
Don't recall
FSA
getting a phone call.
FSA told her to call me.
Oh, okay.
And said that she thought that we would have something.
Gotcha. Well, if they do call, I'll check and see what we got. Not that way.
You got
Yeah, but so we, are.
Buffalo.
No,
Wait,
Wait,
guess
you
the-
have Buffalo?
Any question? No, we don't.
no.
Do you have any questions, any more questions for Aaron for on from NRCS? Okay, so Holden, you got a bit on SDA.
Gotcha, yeah. So during the shutdown, like I said, we use a lot of the same licenses and networks and things like that that NRCS uses that we were not able to access during their time. So by the 42nd day, we were getting pretty low on things to do. But we're back up and running kind of with them now as well, doing a little bit of checkups, or just catching up, I should say. One of our big programs is CREP. That's the Conservation Reserve Enhancement Program. So an option through FSA is signing up around for CRP, which is the Conservation Reserve Program. It's like setting aside normally produced grounds to a program that's not, takes out of production, and then you get a payment each year for that ground by not farming it, basically. And then CREP is whenever if it's next to a waterway or a place that is a little bit higher interest to get that program involved, so like it's closer to place, that closer to waterway is a big one for us. We'll pay an additional incentive each year for that. And so that piggybacks on CRP. So now the FSA is back up, we're trying to get all of our ducks in a row with our CREP program. So I've been working on that the past couple days. And then another thing we're doing again this year is it's an acronym, obviously, the Cover Crop Premium Discount Program, CCDP. That is, if you plan to cover crops, you can sign up for this program. The pre-enrollment for that program opens up December 15th. And it goes till January 15th. And essentially what that is if you plan to cover crops and you enroll in this program, we're taking 70,000 acres in Indiana this year, which is double what we did last year. And you get a discount on your cover crop, or on your premium for enrolling in that program. So you get $5 back per acre off of your crop insurance. That's through the RMN. And it's up to 750 acres per landowner.
So you have to have crop insurance for that.
Right, yeah, if you have crop insurance for that, then you can get a discount on that premium then through this program. And so like I said, the pre-enrollment starts December 15th, and then it goes all the way through March is whenever we'll find out the group that's actually fully signed up once that gets enrolled. Well, last year it was kind of a mad dash just all at once. So this year we're trying to stair step it a little bit and get people interested. I know Steve did it last year, Steve Fox, so I went out and checked some of his ground. We choose 10% of the ground that was been enrolled. We do visual checks on that just to make sure it was actually planted. And but yeah, that will be coming up. I said December is when that starts, and that goes through March. If you're interested, or if you know people that are interested, obviously.
So what you're saying is you really only do 10% of the ground and cover crops, and
Well,
tell you that was everything.
Yeah, you take, well,
Just tell you where to go look at it.
well, what we do is we test.
Yes, as
we-
to what's closest to the road.
Right. We take 10% of all the programs. So you might not get selected at all.
Right.
We just don't check yours. But if we check yours, we check all of yours.
Mhm.
So that's a gamble you can do. So, farming's gambling, right? So, but yeah, besides that, end of the year stuff, trying to get things a little bit wrapped up and get our footing back with now that RCS is back as well.
Good.
Yeah. Also, their bison, not buffalo. So,
That would sound really weird in the song.
right, that's true. Okay.
Thanks, Holden. Any questions for Holden on ISDA stuff?
And I met these two the other day, but I was soil sampling their ground, so they're
Okay.
taking part of the ISDA programs.
Great. Thank you guys for participating there. Did Nathan Stolting give you anything update wise you need to share with us? Okay, gotcha. I saw Laura is on. So Laura, do you have an update for us?
Yeah, just a quick update. So I did get a draft grant agreement for the upcoming implementation grant in my inbox this week, and I gave it a read over. There were a few things that weren't quite exactly reflected the same in the draft as our grant application. So I kicked that back to Josh. That'll go back for, final review and all that stuff. And we're getting to the point where probably, I don't want to get everybody like in a super excited, but probably for the next couple of months, Corbin will want you to keep an eye on your inbox for an electronic signature prompt, because this will have to go back through many desks. But probably in the next couple of months, that will get signed, and then we'll get word that starts, and then we can kind of go over how that process will go. So kind of the first thing, we'll schedule a meeting with Josh to make sure we have a good orientation with the board and everybody on the grant agreement, because it'll be a little bit different than the last one with implementation. And we won't be able to just probably start cost sharing right out of the gates. Like, we'll have to have an advisory committee meeting. We'll have to set up our cost share guidelines to figure out how much we want to offer and how we want to advertise and those kind of things. And those things get approved by item, and an employee contract, those kind of, like, a few of those initial steps. We'll kind of have to get some of that housekeeping stuff out of the way. But anyways, yeah, that's moving forward. I saw that, so just keep an eye on your inbox. Tammy should get it too, but I think they'll be looking for your signature, Corbin. So coming soon. That's a $350,000 grant for 3 years. So
Awesome.
$200,000 in cost share. Pretty excited about it. So it's getting close. And I did receive the check from the last one, so everything from the last grant is totally done. So
Great.
we'll just keep an eye on that, coming soon. Soonish in terms of government, soon. A couple months, but yeah, soon. We're getting there. So I just want to give you guys that update.
Thank you, that's great, and for sure, our annual meeting, we'll make sure that needs to be a key point, because by then we should have all that
Yes,
done and ready,
exactly.
so.
And thank you, Laura, you did confirm that Greene County did change their annual meeting, is that correct? Because initially they had set it on the same date that we had it, and you had a conflict.
Tomorrow to discuss, and I think, yeah, originally Green was supposed to be on the same, and just to confirm, you guys is
26th February.
February
26th.
Yeah, that's a Thursday.
Okay, yeah, Green had theirs the same day, and I think actually we have a meeting tomorrow morning too, just guys, I made Casey aware of that. So I will let you know as soon as I know, what that date is. I'm not sure, I haven't heard from Clay what their meeting date is. So I'll probably find that out. We have a whole bunch of meetings this week, so I'll let you know, but that'll be good. Hopefully, I'm definitely planning to be at y'all's and set up a booth and do a big announcement, because hopefully by then, in February, we should be in the initial startup of that Fish Creek implementation. So, yeah, exciting stuff.
Thank you, Laura.
Are we starting that in stages by closer to certain areas?
Yes.
Okay.
You
critical
can
areas.
only, and I think the map is available online. I'll have to look.
Okay.
We can only do cost share in critical areas. And to start out, we'll only do the tier 1 critical areas, which includes, I knew you were gonna ask me a question.
I have the map here, Laura, I can show it to them.
Okay, yeah, it's, I'm looking at it right now. The areas where we will start first will be Mills Creek, Sandlick Creek, Goose Creek, Fall Creek, and Limestone Creek. So, a couple areas in the north, I'll just put it in I won't help y'all because not everybody's in the chat, but I'll put it here in the chat for anybody who does want to look at it. So we will probably, unless we reach a point, and this will be like advisory committee discussion and stuff we'll have to. Usually we stay like the groups I work with, usually we stay in tier 1 for a while. Then you don't really move to tier 2, maybe until like implementation 2 or 3.
Sure.
Once you kind of notice that you're just getting like repeat customers or you kind of hit a plateau, we just kind of assess. But probably it would not be uncommon to stay in tier 1 for the entire grant, and then maybe like tier 2 would be subsequent grants. If that makes sense.
Yes.
So, but we'll kind of have to see how it goes and how it's received. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Laura.
Yeah, of course.
Any other questions for Laura? All right. Do we want to go ahead and move forward with the STAR presentation? Okay.
Hello, everyone on STAR. We're going to go ahead and move forward with you. We have Eric Scheidler. Who the heck is Eric Scheidler? Hello, Eric. We have Erica Easton and Caroline Wade. Is that correct? And so whenever you're ready.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for the opportunity. Normally, our program director, Jake Dykmeyer, would be talking with you all and giving a bit of a presentation. He is really our on-the-ground coordinator for National STAR. I am STAR's National STAR's executive director. So I'm going to kick us off with a bit of an overview. I think some of you are familiar with STAR, but maybe some have not heard of it. So I will try to just do a quick high-level intro, and then I'm going to hand it off to Erica and Eric, who are going to talk a little more about how they're using STAR in their counties. So a little more on-the-ground perspective. I'm going to attempt to share my screen, although sharing's not turned on. So maybe I'll just talk this through. That'll help us go a little faster anyway. So STAR stands for Saving Tomorrow's Agriculture Resources, and it is a program that was started at one conservation district in Illinois. A couple of farmers back in kind of the mid-teens decided that with the nutrient loss reduction strategy and the focus on water quality, that they really needed a simple way to help producers evaluate their conservation progress. So they came up with the 1 to 5 star rating. They took it to the Soil and Water District, and from there it has really expanded. So all across Illinois, and then with National STAR, we are now expanding across the U.S., and we are working with partners in 11 different states. I can send you all a link to a document that sort of shows the map and a little bit of more detail about the program, but essentially we have a core group of Midwest states, Illinois, Iowa, Indiana, and Missouri, and then we have a slew of Western states that are also partnering with us on implementation of STAR. And again, it was a very grassroots-led program, started by producers. It has really stayed focused on what producers need, and it is very much a locally driven program as well. So we have a lot of partners within the state that are working on conservation that sort of come together to decide how it's going to look in the individual states. And we've been working for a couple of years now with partners in Indiana to get the science and the field forms really adapted to meet the local needs. And so the way our structure works is National STAR helps to coordinate and standardize the program across all of the states. And then we work with those local state partners to help us develop the program. Oftentimes we have an organization that steps up to serve as a state affiliate entity. So in Illinois, that's Illinois Department of Agriculture. Sometimes it's the Conservation District Association. Sometimes it's multiple organizations kind of stepping up into that leadership role. In Indiana, we haven't formalized any sort of agreement, but we do have the association, NRCS, nonprofit representatives all working together on that steering committee. And then we have several districts that have stepped up to kind of serve at the local level, what we call STAR navigators, to really help guide producers. So what is STAR? So it's this national framework. We really bring the local partners together. And then at the core of it is a STAR tool. So that's an online tool that's available for free, open access to any producer interested in participating. They complete an evaluation form that asks them questions about their conservation and management practices, and then they get this 1 to 5 star score. So what does that mean? A 1 star is really the very beginning of producers maybe just learning about conservation, getting started, and then all the way up to 5 stars, which means they are implementing almost everything they can can on that field, and really doing a good job on conservation. So the other advantage to STAR is that 1 to 5 scale really allows producers to share their progress every step of the way. 1 star is not a bad rating. It means you've gotten started, you're getting interested, you're making some progress. Along with that, they can go through a conservation innovation plan, which helps them identify additional practices and some next steps for implementation. And then we have a resources database that connects them to particular technical and financial resources that are specific to their interests. And that is kind of a starting point then for the conservation conversation. And then, as I said, we have local partners, oftentimes conservation districts, but also extension or nonprofit staff that help to serve, to really work one-on-one with those producers. So that's where Erica and Eric come in. We also have Sarah Campfield in Putnam County, and then Lisa McPhee in
Morgan.
County, participating as STAR Navigators. So we're really excited. We're kind of at the testing stages. The other really exciting component of STAR in Indiana is we have Seymour Milling Company as a partner, and they are providing incentives for producers who improve their STAR score or reach a 5-star rating on their field. So that's another incentive for producers to help them implement some of those conservation practices. And the future STAR is really using that consistent framework to bring in more investment partners like that in the supply chain. Producers can also use it to generate reports for landowners or lenders to share their conservation progress. There's a number of different ways they can use the tool. Let me see if I missed anything. I do think one of the real values is that we're bringing all of the partners together to really align on conservation outreach, conservation messaging, and really talk about how they want to implement and use the program. There are a lot of different aspects to it, but it can really be tailored to meet the needs within a state, within a region, within a county. So a real opportunity, I think, for producers and for partners. And then in terms of the navigators, we actually provide those navigators with access into the STAR tool so they can see the producers that are enrolling in their area. They can sort of track where they are in the STAR tool, the progress they're making on conservation. And again, it's just an easy, streamlined way to get that conversation started. So I think that's probably enough of an introduction. There's a lot of components to STAR, so maybe I'll stop there and just see if anyone has questions before I hand it off to our local folks.
So the question I have would be, from our standpoint, as a supporter of STAR, what would be our responsibility, I guess? Just to have a sticker that says we're STAR, or would it be we have to nominate people for ratings, or how much involvement would we have to be locally?
And then also, is there a financial involvement with that too? Like a membership?
Yeah, so no, there are no financial requirements from the county level partners. The STAR tool is free to producers and it's available. And then in terms of the navigators, that's normally how a local district would engage. We also provide access to the navigators for free. So there's no membership fee or licensing fee or anything like that. In terms of sort of what your responsibilities are or how you could engage, that's really up to the locals. We have this tool available. It can be used a number of different ways. To what extent do you all see it helping you meet your needs? In some places, outreach to producers is a really important missing piece, and so they can use STAR as an outreach tool, as a communications tool. So you all could take some of our materials, you could modify them to fit your needs, and really use it pretty proactively to help recruit producers if that's your need. In other places, that recruitment component isn't as high of a priority, so they do a little bit less in terms of promotion. And then normally, one of the staff members at the district serves as like the contact for the producers that are using the tool to help answer any questions they have about getting the form completed or about how do they sign up for available programs. So as I mentioned, that resources database shows all of the programs that are available in that producer's area. And so if a producer uses the STAR tool, they identify that they want to try cover crops, they're interested in cover crop cost share, we could have your program in there. That would come up as an opportunity for them. But then somebody in the local district office may need to make contact with that producer and kind of help them through the next steps of enrollment. So it's usually just supporting the producers who are enrolled, answering a few questions, things like that. There are no on-site visit requirements, anything like that. We have separate, normally we have separate entities that do the verification stuff at the end of the year, so we don't ask district staff to do that. So it could be a fairly low touch, low engagement opportunity, or you could make it into, a really proactive, pretty extensive campaign. Just depends on what you need.
Thank you. And so I was reading on here, different star levels. There's incentives for the, producer to go from a 2-star to a 3-star or vice versa. So where is that money coming from that's paying for those different levels of star ratings?
Yeah, so the incentive program that's available in Indiana right now, the funds come from the Seymour Milling Company. They have operations in parts of Indiana, Illinois, and Kentucky, and so they have committed funds for the next several years to pay those producer incentives.
Okay, that's fair.
Any other sort of overall questions?
I don't know what that company is. Seymour
Milling Company. They have a logo on that one page there. You can probably look them up online.
Okay.
I've never heard of them either, but I'm sure some sort of timber company.
Well, right now, I don't think we have any more questions.
All right, well then I'm gonna let Eric and Erica talk a little bit about how they are using STAR in their areas.
Sure, I'll go first. All right, hi everyone. Thank you for letting us talk a little bit. I just want to start by mimicking how cool STAR is and kind of the importance of it. We all know how challenging conservation can be. It takes a lot of time and money and dedication, but we know how much the land responds when we take care of it. So producers that take time to instill conservation practices, I think, deserve some sort of recognition. The landowners that I've spoken to take a lot of pride in the conservation work that they do. So I think the STAR program is just a way for them to be kind of recognized for that work. So that is kind of how I promote the program. This year, I even started promoting a little bit late. I've been a little unorganized, and I was still able to get a lot of interest with somewhat minimal effort, but I sent a short email to a past cost share participant. We have a local cost share program. He's doing some fantastic work on the county. He does rotationally grazes, and he used the cost share program to install a water pipeline so his animals don't have to travel so far for water. So I sent him a short email, and he's already gotten back to me that he's created an account and that he's working to put all of his information in. So that was really exciting. It took 5 minutes for a quick email, but I have not heard back from him, and he hasn't submitted. So it does take a little bit of time to kind of check back with people. We all know how busy our lives get. It takes, it's easy to forget to fill out a form or fill things out. So it takes just a little bit of dedication on our end to kind of check back with people. I've also sent out some information to my board, and at our next board meeting, we plan to discuss STAR, and I'm going to have them kind of fill it out. I think the agricultural community is a lot of kind of word of mouth, and if one of our producers, or we get one producer in the county to get started on STAR, I think that the word will travel pretty quickly. So I know we have one board member that did STAR, I believe, last year, and she was really interested in it. Plans to do it again this year, and then I'm hoping to get the others on board. So boards, in this case, U.S. supervisors, are extremely helpful in kind of getting the ball rolling and getting the word out there. So that's kind of a little bit of my personal experience, but it's all about working together. If anyone has any questions for me about kind of how producers have responded or anything like that, let me know.
Well, so you talked about you have like your local cost share that they've been involved in. So is that, you say that there's ways, part of that tool is you can find funding or options in your area. Is that uploaded to that tool then based on the county that you're a resident of? How do they figure out which funding is available in certain areas? Because that's a problem with ISDA that we've had in the past, is trying to figure out, how to localize that program availability. I just know how you guys are doing that. How's the STAR program do that?
Yeah, so that resources database, we can load in any sort of technical or financial resources, and we add specific characteristics of those resources. So some eligibility criteria, where those programs are located. And then as the producer goes through and fills out information, whether it's their location or what they're interested in, there's kind of a matchmaking process that happens in the background, and it prioritizes the resources that are the best fit for that producer. So they will only see things that are specific to their location, their county or state, or if it's a federal program available in their area. And we can also turn them on and off depending on when those programs are available. So if it's not currently accepting applications, we can make a note that it's not an active program. So hopefully they're only seeing things that are really relevant to them.
Right, but like that 319 grant that Laura was talking about a little bit ago, like that would only become available as a resource on your guys' tool if Owen County decided to be a part of this program, or is it going to be on there regardless? Because
it can be on there regardless. We'd love to have any available resource because producers can go in and fill it out even if there isn't a navigator in your county.
Okay, that was my question.
It's still available. It's just better if we have local folks that are involved in providing some assistance, but they can still get in there. And really, they can get in there and look at the resources database without filling out a form also, so they can kind of self-filter what's listed in there.
Any other questions?
Eric, do you have anything to share for us?
Yeah, so we're in a little bit different boat. Part for a million, we partnered together on a lot of our initiatives. We actually started with STAR in 2019. It rolled out of Champaign County in Illinois 2017, 2018. We sit right on the line, and have some contacts over there. We heard about it very early on in the discussion of STAR. Part for a million jumped on board really quick, really in hopes of kind of helping them get started over here a lot earlier, which didn't happen, unfortunately. So we've been at it for quite a while. We actually were very active in it until about 2021. And again, that STAR was in its very, very early stages. It was not yet a national program. It was still being run out of Champaign County. What we did with it, and one of the things that I love about STAR, and I've been a STAR advocate all of this time, is that opportunity for a district to initiate conversations with producers that maybe they don't have that relationship with yet. The star, it doesn't matter what that producer is doing in their field. They can be fully conventionally tilled farmers that are not doing a stitch of conservation work, and they can still fill out the form, and they can still look and they can evaluate good fields, bad fields. And I think that's the point. I don't know that Caroline touched on this. STAR is a field by field analysis. It is not a whole farm analysis. So really producers can go in and they can pick 2 or 3 fields that they want to evaluate in the program. And I've done that before. I said, let's take what you think is your worst field, and let's take what you think is your best field. Let's put those through the STAR formula and see what we get. Or some of your moderate fields or whatever. But it's a wonderful opportunity for districts to go out and initiate conversations with producers if they haven't yet maybe had a reason or had an opportunity to interact with them. It's a very easy form. Again, it used to be a paper form, so you could sit down with the producer, talk through the form with them, fill it out for them, and again, have that conversation as you did that. It is fully web-based now. You can still go out and, have those conversations and walk through that form with the producer, which I still encourage a lot of folks to do to, again, build those relationships. But it is very non-invasive. In some of our other programs where we're looking at field ratings and farm ratings and producer incentives, they can be pretty daunting. They can have a lot of information. They even want to go back 5, 6, 8 years to get information like that. STAR does not do that. So it is a very non-invasive type of rating system. The reason we got out of it in about 2021 was I was hearing feedback from producers at that time was, this is great, we love the concept, but there are no really tangible rewards. No tangible things we're getting from it. And at that time, they were not able to make any management decisions from the STAR tool, and they were not getting any incentive payments. We're moving forward with that now. Jump ahead to today, you have the conservation innovation plan, which I think is a wonderful addition to STAR that has come about very recently. And so, once you go through the STAR rating and you see where you are, then you can start looking at, okay, what do I want to do to improve this field? And take it from a 2 to a 3 or a 3 to a 4. Now we have a piece of that you can start planning and looking at maybe what small changes can I make that's going to increase me by a STAR point or 2. We've got some more folks jumping in that are providing payment incentives. SEMR here in Indiana, while they are a limited such entity in Indiana, it's still positive movement. It's still an entity that wants to award producers for the good work that they're doing. And that's why I think it's very important that Indiana steps up and becomes an affiliate state so that we can have somebody that's dedicating the time to having those meetings with Cargill, ADM, with some of these other folks that have the ability to, when a producer takes a truckload of grain to their local elevator and they're selling it to a specific entity like ADM or Cargill, they can say, hey, I'm in the STAR program, I'm a 4-star farmer, and maybe they're getting 4 cents premium on that per bushel load. That's something. And I think that's where we have the opportunity for STAR to really expand and really grow. But we're not going to do that until we get some commitment, from both folks on the statewide level, but also just, districts stepping up, like, Monroe County, Morgan County, some of these other folks that are taking the leap of faith and seeing the benefits locally of interacting with those producers. I think it's a program that has so much wonderful potential for districts on a lot of different levels. I will say back from 19 to 21, when Parkins Vermillion were active in it, we also made it a requirement with our CWI cover crop cost share program that we were running at the time. if a producer signed up for our cost share program, they also had to fill out a STAR application. We just married them together and made it a requirement. And again, it doesn't cost them any more, and it was a simple form. But it was a way for us to enhance both of those programs, both clean water and STAR. You can do that very easily with your 319 grant, implementation grant you've got coming up. Partner, Marin County's got a 319 implementation grant coming up as well in this same round where, that's going to be one of the things that we're going to look at. We want to, to kind of reinvigorate STAR and just make it, that's part of the application process. If you sign up here, you're going to sign up there. Another great thing that STAR is doing now is encouraging or it has the opportunity to also bring Louisiana some grazing forms for our pasture folks, our livestock folks. I don't know that we're 100% there yet, Caroline, but I think it's something that we're starting to see more adoption of. It could be something that, right now it's just focused on corn and soybeans. We can elevate that up to adding in our pasture land. It opens up a whole other group of folks that we can start having conversations with on the local level. So, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time, and I mean, I could talk a whole long time about STAR. I really do think it's a wonderful program. It's got tremendous potential, and it's gotten better. Since we were initially in it, it has stepped up with becoming a national organization, and the national leadership that we have it's really stepped up its game and wonderful program. Again, before I answer any questions you might have, I'm always available to talk. After this, if you ruminate on this for a little while and you talk about it, and you have other questions, Tammy knows how to get a hold of me, knows how to get a hold of Erica. We're here to help you answer questions to the best of our knowledge. We're not experts on it, but we have used it, we are using it, so we do have that practical knowledge, so we can at least talk through some things and really the sky's the limit as how you want to implement STAR locally and with some of the programs you already have running.
Thank you, Eric. I have questions for you.
Thank you all for your time. The presentation, we'll definitely discuss it as a board, and I guess Tammy, or we'll get back with you guys when we decide if we are going to participate, okay?
Yeah, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much for the opportunity, and feel free to reach out to me or to Jake or to any of the folks using STAR in Indiana if you have questions. I'll just note too, one follow-up to Eric's comment. We have watershed projects in Illinois where we can add in a project. So producers who use STAR can actually say they're part of a specific watershed project, and then we can give your project manager navigator access so they can track all of those project participants. So it's actually a nice way to track your participants, get some information about them, help them do a little bit of planning in addition to having them participate in a program. So that's another one of those new features. So that might actually be something you could even just test it out, somebody could sign up as a project navigator and we can just see how that goes if you want to just put your toe in and test the waters a little bit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I will add one more thing, that conservation innovation plan also opens the door for districts to further engage with both our federal partners and our state partners. Bringing in NRCS, bringing in ISDA, and all the programs they have available. It just helps strengthen that partnership that we have with those partners. And so if there's a producer who isn't, in any of those programs either, it gives us an opportunity to walk into our district conservationist or resource specialist and say, hey, we've got a producer who can benefit from these programs as well. So, not only does it benefit us locally, but it can also strengthen that partnership we have with our federal and state partners.
Thank you.
That's great. Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much. Y'all have a good day.
You too. I guess, do we want to go ahead and discuss it and vote now on whether or not to move forward with Star, or I guess?
My own personal, and you need to leave.
I'll just recast one Thursday, thank you.
Sounds good.
See you, Aaron.
I'll ask you, the board, if you feel like that you're ready to vote on this. Amy and I have talked about the program. It seems pretty set it and forget it. Pretty much what we're doing is we're here as a resource to help guide people. I do like the idea of what Eric was saying, that, hey, you enroll in the 319 grant or something, hey, well, I'm enrolling in this also. And I think that's a very smart tool too. It would look good on our website, on our resume, you know what I mean? So, a part of me thinks that perhaps we should, especially since our neighboring counties are participating and also maybe part of that initial coalition to where we can drive this. Because right now, it sounds like just about everyone in our region, aside from Green, they didn't mention Green and they did not mention Brown, but Vermillion's part of our region. And so, and right there, the fact that Vermillion's doing it, is a big deal. So it's up to you if you prefer to wait. I did send out a link, I don't know if any of you saw it, to go to their website when I sent out the agenda so that you can look into it a little bit more further.
I think it's just another tool to just try to reach people.
Well, and like,
You know.
like I said, I think what you run into with it is like, is a chicken and the egg situation where like, you get companies and things like that, more premiums and more involvement by having people involved, but the way you get people involved is by having something to offer them in the first place, you know? So, I mean, if it's nothing to do to get people involved and signed up for it, that's probably gonna lead to more stuff later on, you know? But, I made a account or whatever, I was looking through it and like, it's there, you know, like, I don't know how often people will go to it, but.
Do you know other districts who are involved in it aside from the ones that we talked about?
The only ones I know of, the ones that I cover at least are Putnam, Vermillion Park, than here. I know Clay isn't, Vigo isn't yet.
Morgan, they
Morgan,
just started.
They just started, Lisa was talking about it at our last meeting.
And I will share, that's what inspired Amy and I to bring this up. Amy actually saw it, because Lisa did a big, nice promotion and push. And I remember hearing about this at the Indiana Association meeting last year. And at that time, I will share, I sat in on the presentation. I wasn't necessarily, I don't want to say not impressed. The presenters were learning how to present. And Sarah and I had a long talk afterwards, and I was waiting to see what would happen. So I personally have known about this for a year.
Well, I didn't see that negative part of being involved with it. I mean, there's no cost, it's just a matter of being exposed, so I didn't
So
feel
would
like.
you guys have to get training to know how to help people do these things? or-
I am going to assume the answer is yes, but I think it's pretty much, it's gonna be easy training. And like Eric shared, he is phone all way. He's easy for me to deal with. Yes.
Also, Jake, who I've been emailing with, that couldn't make it tonight on the Zoom meeting, said that IA said that the read texts
Yes.
are available to go through the navigator training also, so we could also have Emma do it.
Yes, exactly. That would be a good idea. But I did have her cap too, so I guess from my point of view, the marketing aspect, it sounds good. I go before the council for budget. That sounds good.
You know, on this IBM implementation grant, I know he said they do this with their CWI grant, but can you have to fill that out in order to put an application in for the
I did some
319 money?
designs for the 319 stuff, and they didn't force anybody to do it on their last one. They talked about it, like mentioned it, you know, but it wasn't a requirement to do it during their.
And I hope,
Mm-hmm.
You
I mean, in a navigator, you could push people that way.
I know we've talked about, so like for the state cost share program. I'm
It's
sorry.
just good, it's a good thing for people to know where they're at in their
Right.
conservation.
Well, I'm curious about like who is the ones that actually go out and like check them, you know?
Well,
Because I could
Is
say
it
on this,
is it self-certifying?
that's what I don't know.
No, that's what it
I
read like, when I read that paper, it read like people just put what they're doing.
Like, well, okay, I'm a 5-star farmer,
Right.
then, you know?
Yeah.
If you're not gonna check me, then,
Yeah, that's a good question.
yeah. And if it's not on you guys to check and implement that implementation, then I don't know.
I think that's what the navigators are for, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Well, she said, my impression was that you two may end up being the navigators for our county, but the navigators don't have to do any field checks.
Right.
That's why I'm.
Right, that's the way she said, but I don't know if they have their own
Yeah.
staff that does that then. I don't know.
I think they're going by faith.
Well, that's an awful idea.
Well, the thing is though, too, if you're checking up on someone, there's so many tools out there now where we could get online, we could do Google Earth or something like that. I mean, we had someone give us a quote on building a pole barn thing, and they just looked up our property online. They never came out to physically look at it. So there are ways in this day and age that we can be a navigator and follow up with things that's not, excuse me, bug.
Flying, yeah.
Yeah.
A friend-
You brought flies in.
No, I'm trying to keep them out.
So I do think there is a sort of check and balance, but
This isn't a strong program coming in. They're still in the takeoff phase.
oh, exactly.
And it's
relatively-
apparently a nonprofit.
Mhm.
They're reliant on their grants, for example, this company that was at the top of the page. So as long as that grant is there, then they've got money to pay people to implement the program. So we don't know where it's going to go. Having said that, the idea is good if you can promote conservation in any way, and it doesn't cost us any actual cash, and that doesn't require a lot of office time to take care of the mechanics of it. So that was my reading on this, and I also think that probably most farmers are a little competitive anyway, and they may want to get a star, you know, and if it adds to the conservation efforts, then I think that's good. So I say let's go ahead with this.
And getting more people to participate helps us get that extra 4 cents at the thing, you know, this help them.
Well,
Incentives are good.
And so one of the things that ISDA was tasked with is we're creating an ag portal. That was one of the things that was on a bill that passed during this last legislative council deal. And so we're creating an agriculture portal. What that means, it didn't specify. They just said, that's what ISDA needs to have to do. And it's like, what needs to be on it? So like, that's been questions that have been asked, and we've been working on trying to figure out what needs to go on it. I mean, if that's a resource, if they could figure out a way to compile, you know, financial resources or just, you know, educational resources into one area, like that's a perfect place, you know, we can kind of shoot that over onto our ag portal as well. But that's the thing, it needs to be a little bit more sound and have people involved. So I think the way to do that is to get.
Well, I will move that we would engage with this entity, and that's my motion.
Motion by Tim
I
to
second.
go forward with the
Trial.
affiliate, and then seconded by Doris. All in favor, raise your hand. 4-0. There we go. We can let them know that we'll give her a shot. See where it is. Okay. Already did partner reports, so we're covered there. I do have to leave here in about 10 minutes, because I gotta take my son to practice. So is there anything, I guess, needs to be voted on before I step out?
Minutes and financials.
Okay. So we got the financials here that I believe you guys already signed. I've signed the minutes here. Well, Steve just needs to sign those. So did you guys get a chance to review those from the email at all?
I know that
So-
you had problems accessing it for
Okay.
some reason. Can,
Well, I have plenty of agendas. I got 6 agendas.
I have a question. Are you able to access OneDrive? because really, in the greater scheme of things, I don't think you can. But you agree would be
Yeah, I'd like
able,
this one.
going forward, let's create a OneDrive, because these are very heavy. I know that when I do there are pictures of checks you don't receive because those are really, really heavy. So going forward, I'll do a OneDrive for you, and that way you can make sure that that you were able to access the stuff that I sent you.
Mhm.
So,
So y'all take a motion to approve the minutes and the financials.
I motion to approve those.
Motion from Steve,
Second.
second by Doris. All in favor, raise your hand. All right. Read out.
did we do the minutes too?
Yes, as a minutes and financials in one motion.
Oh, you did both?
Yeah. Save some time.
Awesome.
Yes.
Okay, real quick, because I know you need to leave, December 10th.
Yes, I got it on my
Yes,
calendar.
Okay,
And that will be here, right? Is that what we're
we
doing?
will be here, it's gonna be at 9 a.m. I will make sure that we have coffee, and do you have any requests for any munchies or anything like that? Tim, do you know what we're talking about, the
No.
strategic plan, and I think I
Oh, yeah, oh, absolutely, yes.
yeah, I called you on that. I've reached out to Chris, or I'm going to reach out to Chris, because I'd sent him an email and not heard back, because I would like him there as an associate. I don't know if it'd be appropriate, for people wanting to perhaps be a supervisor to be there just to share their thoughts. I think that would be a good idea.
Probably the associates.
Yeah.
You know, we consider them associates or whatever.
Correct.
Well, I would like to formally invite you, Jeanette, and also you, Brian, you're welcome to come, and Aaron. It's time for us to review our strategic plan and business plan. It's a 5-year plan. It's very short and sweet. It's a public document, so I will give you, before you leave, a copy, because I do have copies that are actually right there. Can I hand it to you? And it's gonna be a meeting during the day, Wednesday, which December 10th, 9 a.m. at the latest 3 p.m. I will provide coffee. I will try to make arrangements for lunch. You know, I mean, I want to reward you for taking the time. Nathan Stolding with ISDA, Indiana State Department of Agriculture, is going to be here to help us facilitate it. I'll give you this information. Please, I would encourage you to come regardless where you decide to put your name on the nomination form. You're interested in soil and water. We need your input. We are here for you. Okay, and so just call me with any questions. I'll go ahead and give that. Everyone has it on their calendars.
Yes.
And you two can share one, right? Okay.
So remind me on the elections coming up, how many open spots are we?
Right now, we just have one open spot. It is an elected spot. Both Aaron and Jeanette are aware of that, and they're gonna let me know if they both would like to be on the ballot. If for some reason, not if, one person will be elected. It's done at the annual meeting. It's landowners are the ones who can vote on this. If you don't get elected, please stay on as an associate. Anytime a position comes open for whatever reason and we need someone interim, my understanding is it's advisable, recommended to take an associate inside to assume that position. So I do hope that you both consider being on the ballot, because there's nothing, it's great to have this interest. I'm very excited about this. And going forward, just remain as an associate. What an associate does is they give us your opinion. Can you vote? No, but your opinion's out there, and
You still have influence on that.
you definitely
Yeah,
have
yes.
input, exactly. So associates are very valuable.
That's right.
Yeah, and the only other, and the good thing about being an associate is if we vote on something and the public says, why did you do that? You can say, well, I didn't vote on it. So there you go.
So my question, I guess, Tammy, too, is which board member is coming off?
Tim.
So Tim is taking her, okay. So Tim
Yeah,
resigns.
he's,
Okay.
your president now, Sycamore Land Trust, is that correct?
Great.
Not yet, but
You are.
Next.
going to be.
2 months from now.
Okay,
Yeah, so, and he has only so much time.
understand.
I did it, I cried, I begged him, I sent him chocolates and teddy bears.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Tim, for your service on the board. I know, I think since back when Devin was here, so about 4 years or so, you've been part of
That was my second term, so it would be 6.
6 years. Yeah, so thank you for all the time on the board. Appreciate having you.
And Tim, I really need you to come to the meeting on December 10th too, because you're still a board member, and regardless, you are an associate. You're not
Yes.
leaving.
We still need his input.
Yes.
Yeah, no, you're still an associate, and I've already listed
A
you.
lot of sunshine around here right now.
So really, there's that. The other thing, real quick, for you,
Yep.
two things. One, Lair, the equipment, I had a Lair grant for riverfront restoration. The construction's starting. They're parking the equipment December 1st. Okay, and so that's when they hope to do another nature course, but we're gonna have the equipment out here. And so that's exciting. And then also, I have money for the handicap grant. And I have
Great.
someone who's going to do it, and it's gonna be
Yes.
verified, and this is what they do, and it's a foundation grant. and
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I know we signed that here last week, so that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, so you signed it, but anyway, sorry, this has been a dream of mine since I started here, because day one, I had guests who came here, and one of them was in a wheelchair to give me a hard time, because that's what he does, and he wasn't able to come in, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna handicap ramp, and finally, since 2023, we're getting the handicap ramp. I didn't think it would take this long, but we're getting it, so yay on that. Flat books, we're down to 3, that's all we have left.
And still have 5 electronic ones.
Could you transfer those to, like, if you got 5 that haven't been used, can you transfer those to actual, like, hard copy books?
Probably not,
Okay.
probably not gonna bring more.
December meeting, do we want to have a week ahead of time again? Because.
Oh, because of Christmas, yes, yeah, I would say, yeah.
Okay,
We won't have that.
I would motion that.
Yes, yeah. But anyway, you guys still got a quorum though, so you can still vote. You got 3 folks, so we'll, I'll
Oh,
see you
that's
guys.
right.
Yep, I'll see you guys next month.
Thanks.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank
So,
you.
so are we on the positive side of the ledger with regard to the plat books with the number we sold then?
I can't hear you, sorry.
Are we on the positive side of the ledger with the number of books that we?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Financially?
Yeah, financially, I have another deposit to make. But all the books are sold, so we got on that quite early, actually. I've not received their invoice. Are we gonna make a huge amount of money? No, but are we gonna make?
Yeah, but I
like a
think
few thousand?
when we
Yes.
decided to do it, we were concerned that we might end up eating some of it.
No, we did not eat anything.
So this is good news then.
Well, and I will share, timing's everything. Babs Supermarket sold it for me, the Tivoli sold 4, Babs sold 20. The auditor, tax time, they sold the most. And then the foundation, they had books and they sold those for me too, and I believe they sold 4, but most of them went through the auditor. And she actually even called me, Sheila, saying, hey, we need more books. The people paying the property taxes, and we did have a bit of a comedy with the errors because they have now separated the building department. Remember, it used to be separate, then they made it one, and then they separated it again, which I did not know. And the mapping department actually told me, you know, you're not supposed to do this, you're supposed to go before the council and the commissioners and give permission and all this, and I was like, Tom, you know, what's Tom's last name? Foundation, Chamber of Commerce, he did the books.
Tom Wallace.
Yeah, Tom Wallace, so I went to him immediately, he goes, I don't know what they're talking about, but it's all smooth, it's all great, and they sold the books,
Never
so.
heard of that before.
To the point where I was almost one.
Well, it turns out that the guy who has the mapping job was planning on doing it.
Yeah, he
And
he got hired.
I don't know.
I don't know his name, but I guess, when he came in and they said, okay,
So
well,
he
here are
made that.
plans, and his was like, we're not doing that, and then he said, well, we'll do it every 2 years, it's like, oh, no.
Well,
was
it's
going
easier to ask for forgiveness anyway.
No. Well, I was going to ask if we wanted to get another run of books. Because they are very popular. I sold 2 today. That's the reason why we just have 3 left. But I don't know if we wanna do that or not, or
What's
just
the
say, you know,
minimum?
Yeah, how many can you
Um,
get?
I think it's 100. It's 100, because we got 95 plus 5 electronic, so the minimum's 100.
What do they cost to print? How much does 100 cost?
I knew you'd ask me that, and I don't have that.
I was just trying to math it out.
It's like, from memory, we didn't have a big profit margin at $25.
Right.
So it's up around like maybe $20.
No, actually, it's less than 20, I believe it's $18 for a book. Well, hey, $2, it's $2.
So that's $7 a thing.
It's okay.
It adds up.
So the real question is, do we think we've saturated the market? Or do we think there's still lots and lots of people who would like to buy one?
You know what? I actually think that people want to buy them because word is getting out now. Because it was so subtle. And I mean, yes, I did do Facebook posts, and yes, I had it at these primo locations where, you know, people go to the theater, buy them popcorn, hey, I'll buy a flat book too. That's what they did. Like the two today, one phoned, one came in and said, oh, I heard through the grapevine that you have flat books. I would like one. So
I was just thinking, you made $700 off of them right now.
Yeah.
I was thinking if that was less than what it would cost to order more, then it's like you're playing with house money, you know. But it would be $1,800 to order.
Yeah, you partially are anyway, but,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
You might want to consider that you bring it up again next year and decide whether you've seen during that year the increase in people enthusiasm for them, and then decide next year to go at it again.
And you know what, I think you're right.
I'm gonna put one in for my silent auction thing for your annual meeting.
You want one?
That's what I'm gonna put in this silent auction gift or whatever it is, your door prize.
Yeah, that'd be great.
There you go.
Good idea.
Okay, well, we're almost done, we got Amy to go, but we,
So one more point on that.
Yes,
So if our best outlet is at the treasurer auditor's office, that cycle comes around in the spring as well.
that's correct.
So we might want to talk about it in February or March and see if, maybe keep track of how many requests you get between now and then and see if it warrants.
Well, the other thing is, rather than having the same content, because there'll be changes in that meantime, would it be an updated version or not?
Right, that's the question, is how often is it?
The
It's like our
reprint.
GIS is like every 6 months or something. It's
Yeah.
not very relevant.
It's cheaper to reprint it right now. When I said $18 per book, that actually included their cost in putting it together. A reprint is actually quite a bit cheaper. I do not have that figured out.
Well, then maybe it comes closer
Maybe
to
close.
the bottom, yeah.
So that's where that is. It's just that right off that, you have to pay the setup fee.
Well, maybe we need a fresh look next month when we have a little,
I like Steve's idea where we get, make them, if we run out, then you can kind of keep track of the names that are wanting them. And then we can reorder them if we get so many names.
Now, see, and that's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that idea.
Say, hey, we're getting another order together, drop your name and we'll call you when it's ready.
Well, and I will share, Sheila said you picked the right time, that tax week, those 2 weeks. That's when you're busy. And,
I wonder if anybody had money left from taxes to buy it.
did you say that out loud?
I did. Because I paid a lot.
Before we get our tariff check, we'll make that motion. $2,000 tariff check.
Yeah.
Just real quick, donation drive update. So far, we have received 0. So I'm gonna have to work hard. I'm disappointed. But whatever, I'm trying to make this self-sustaining, and I'm trying to encourage people to do a recurring pledge, such as like a tithing with the church or something. This is something that the foundation can manage. This is something that the foundation will send out the pledges at the end of the year. I've mailed out some, I wrote a letter, you can see if that's out there, posted it on Facebook. I have 2 different signs hung up at Pat's. I'm gonna work on it and see if we can get some people. My goal is to see if we can't get up to 20,000 a year, you know, and I mean, if I can get 100 people to dedicate $10 a month, that's $12,000. But I gotta find 100 people who's willing to do that, so. But,
Is there any kind of tax deduction for that, or?
there is a tax note, yes. So, but I'm gonna work on it, and, you know, it is what it is. Soil and water, for one, but we are not a sexy donation, but, you know what, like, feed the children, that's, well, you understand what I mean, and so we're a little bit challenged with that, so. I don't know if we have a drive and parking lot update, but if we're, long time, I'm looking at you, and I'm looking at you. Our parking lot over here, the My Path parking lot, and Kyle left too before we wanted you to look there, it's now a lake. If we, Kyle and I are thinking, if we could get dozers or someone with front loaders or something to push the gravel from the north side up here to make the south side higher, because that's where it ponds. That's where it ponds, but, I told Kyle that, I did tell Kyle that Doris and Steve can do anything, and that they would do it for me. But if you will look
You're
at
almost right.
Well, if you wouldn't mind, no, seriously though, if you wouldn't mind looking at it, because if it's a fix like that.
I'll look at it again when I walk through it to get to my car.
Yeah, I'm sorry about, but we need to do something. It's,
No,
it's
it does need
flooding.
some
Did you
cleaning.
park back there too?
Yeah.
So you were swimming, I don't know where you parked, Aaron. Okay, so he didn't need to have a life jacket or anything for that, but, so there's that. I'm done. Amy has stuff for you.
Well, let's talk about the parking area out here.
Oh, okay.
I don't have an update, but, harvest is past now, and I have some time available, and if I get a chance here in the next, couple of weeks, dry it up just a little bit, I'll come over and we'll grade it off.
That would be nice. You can see how congested it is
Yeah.
down at Brandon. We have a lot of people here for the meeting, but throughout the day, it was congested. We have a lot, and that's one of the reasons why the handicap ramp is so exciting. We have so many people coming here. Now we have a reason to upgrade that ramp.
I have a question on the ramp. Do we have a design for the ramp?
Yes.
To review?
It's all in the gentleman's name, and I believe you probably know him, Michael. Sorry, I forgot his last name. I'll find it. He's the one he's been around for a while, very skinny, long hair. He's the one who did the handicapped accessible bathrooms in the historical site, and told them that, you tell me when you're ready to do the ramp, and I'll do the ramp, and they just haven't done that yet. But it is set, it is code. It's just a matter of getting it done now.
Well, will there be a landing? We'll go to the
Yes.
back door.
It'll go to the back door. There is gonna be a 4-foot landing.
Okay. And then it'll come forward towards the road?
It'll come this way, yeah.
Okay.
Right up there. We will be challenged with the pathway because it needs to be repaired regardless. I've tripped on that how many times because it's cracked and it's lifted, uncoordinated. So there's that. I
have some track repair.
So-
I didn't even think about it. I just have this, I want it
It's
at
that separated.
So we
That's
ought
not
to
that bad.
coordinate the sidewalk repair with the ramp.
So I'll need to get money for that.
Well, yeah, we have to get a cost estimate first, someone who's able to do
Okay,
that.
so would you like me to pull off on that then? This grant, and I can,
No, I don't want you to hold off. I think we should aggressively do both.
When's he doing the ramp?
Well, I was gonna call them tomorrow to do it, however, there's one other thing that has to come first. And that is a plumber coming out, Murray, to, fix our outlet. Because remember, our outlet froze, and he needs to do that. And I'm on his list, so he will be coming out, and,
Is the guy building the ramp gonna have, we've gotta be able to undo the hose off of the thing, so.
yeah, there's gonna be, well, we're gonna do the plumbing first, but once the ramp's in place, there's a trap door, so we have access to our water.
To the faucet.
Yeah, to the faucet. And do we have any ideas on, I don't know who to do on the concrete.
Well, talk to the same guy who's doing the ramp first. And
Oh, see if he can do that?
See if he can have
Okay.
that.
I'll talk to him about
And then there is a concrete guy down by Freedom, Indiana.
that. Okay.
Richardson, John Richardson. Don't know if I'd recommend him, but he's, there's one down there.
Oh.
I think he could do this job fine.
Okay. Because that was one of the concerns, is that our sidewalk is not good. And I know that Amy has brought up about the door. It's, what's wrong in the mudroom is that the floor is uneven and part of the floor is high. The door scrapes against the floor, but when you close it, there's a huge gap on the bottom because it's uneven. And I know that.
There's a whole piece missing from the bottom of the door frame.
Okay.
I mean, and so that, depending on what a person's utilizing, a scooter or a wheelchair, that's gonna be a problem.
That needs to be fixed with the ramp. So
Right.
Now, in my understanding on the ramp design, and he has that transition strip. That's in the design, so.
Okay.
So that is there, the transition.
We're to let our guests know that, that no other soil and water owns their own offices like this is. And that, so that's why we're having to deal with maintenance issues and that sort of thing that everybody else is in offices that they don't have any.
Yeah, there are
responsibility for.
different things, but we actually own the building, we own land,
So
we
they're
own
all-
the forest.
They're all owned by their local government.
Well, they're actually rented off of a local landowner. The federal government rents the land off of a local landowner.
Okay.
And then they house the county office in with the federal office. But
And
since we
some
don't,
state offices.
in some state,
Yeah.
they go into different ones too. But, the federal is the ones that usually have the rented the property, and we don't have a federal office here.
So when, during the shutdown, all of the soil and waters had to,
Find somewhere else to work.
right, they went to home or the library or extension offices.
But we are gifted, so we were able to keep right on working.
Yes. Much appreciated.
Which is
Yeah.
very much appreciated.
And what's next
Any
on
work done here is it just grant money, period? Or is it funded which way, from where?
Here, how we
Donations
operate,
or?
well, no, how we operate, we do receive money from the state, it's called Clean Water Indiana. That money actually comes from the smoking tax. And, so anytime someone's smoking, we're getting money from that certain percentage. That's not a guaranteed amount, this past year was 20,000. This year coming up is gonna be 20,000. Because I had already
Should be
been
more
established, so I don't know what's gonna happen. We also get funding from the county, and when I talked about the budget, I do go before the county and say, hey, they pay for me, I do get benefits, and so I get benefits, the monies from that, and they did pay the rental, they're now paying the utilities for this, I do have a thing for printing, and also we get that. Amy here, she's actually from a grant that I got from the National Association Conservation Districts. And for your grant, I'm gonna have to figure it up after 3 years, or she may be standing on the street, we'll test your soil for free or something. But, So we're really kind of dependent on the kindness of strangers.
Gotcha.
You know, whenever I have an event like the annual meeting that we're talking about, I will get the sponsorships from different community organizations, and that funds that event. Water Day, that's funded. Arbor Day, when we do the free tree giveaway, I normally have sponsors. In that case, VPP Water is a very good friend of ours. The Sheriff's Department, they have money that's used for community events only, that they can do that for. It's commissary money is what that is. And Babs, of course, Mr. Babs is a very good sponsor of us. So, but that's how we operate.
And we sometimes write grant requests and get grant funding for certain programs.
Yes, that's correct. And just like on the ramp, I got a grant for the ramp. Just like on the riverfront restoration, we were able to obtain a grant to help repair that. And then if that works, then there are other areas too. Erosion is what's happening. And so we're fixing that.
So the money that's, I guess, appropriated for this from the county,
Yes.
you guys are completely in charge of, and you fund whatever from that, or they tell you what you can spend with it?
They give me, I have line items,
Okay.
different accounts, printing, telephone, workshops, whatever. I spend the money
Mhm.
and then I send them an invoice
So
for
that way
them
they
to
know what's-
reimbursement. Now, that being said, yes, they trust soil and water.
Mhm.
If they didn't trust us, it would be more hands-on. It's just a formality that I have to let them know what I'm spending the money on and have proof of the invoice, because they need that for the state board of accounts. It's literally a formality. They do trust us. If they could give us the money and say, hey, do something, they know we're not gonna go on a big cruise.
Yeah.
You know. So,
Weekend in Vegas is not.
I don't know, strategic planning's next month.
Right, yeah.
Some
By
kind
the
of
way,
plan.
strategic planning's happening in Florida.
Back to the parking lot thing.
Yeah.
So when you come over to do the scraping and stuff, I can come over and help and put the blanket down or whatever, get Davey, put the rock on.
Get the blanket?
Yeah, Stevie, that would be a sponsored deal. You know, Team Trucking gonna sponsor the stone for that?
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, there you go. Why don't you just write him a letter?
So your question is, where's the blanket? Is that,
We need to go buy it.
yeah, we need to go buy.
One roll, said, right?
I think so, yeah.
Will it fit in my Jeep?
No, we can take my truck over
Your
there.
Jeep gets put a lot of stuff.
Yes, it does.
We can go get it.
I have a truck, but I
You
hate
two
it.
are in charge of that then. You two go on the road trip.
I've got a credit card.
She does have magic money cards.
Oh,
Get the woven kind, it's cheaper, but it does the job right.
Yeah.
Are you gonna remember that? Or do I need to write it
a
down?
little bit like it.
It's half price compared to the non.
Yeah, it's, yeah.
It's adequate for this job.
It'll work.
Okay.
It'll work.
So do you need them sized and all that?
Probably. Well,
It's either, you have two options, 12 and a half feet long or 15 feet long.
right. Which one do we want?
That's a good question. I laid that out and figured out, but you really want about a 2-foot overlap where the joint is.
Yeah.
So we need to measure, and I think we had a little sketch. And
Yeah, we can ballpark the square footage.
I'm not sure it's sketch yet, but.
Well, no.
Tammy had it last time I saw it.
Yeah.
I do have the sketch.
Okay.
Actually, the state board of accounts has the sketch. Because I I submitted it with all of my, that was an exhibit.
Okay.
Yeah. No, don't do it like that. No, I don't know if they even look at it. But no, it's attached as an exhibit, so. Okay.
But if I had the flatbed trailer cleaned up, I would do it, but.
Now, I have a hay hauler that works really well for picking those up. It's 25 foot.
Mhm.
So you have to strap it down.
25 feet, no, that's not for my Jeep.
So you wanna come and help us do this?
Just let me know
Expand the
when I
driveway.
let you decide to do that. and I'll come out. Cause we're done too, so. Finish Saturday.
2 days ago.
You're right.
And I saw Aaron had his field down by Sassafras Road was down
Oh,
the corner. Looked good from the road.
from the road.
Did corn eaters come visit you too?
Boy, we had a lot of that. A lot.
We got the CRP field.
They drown.
sample that is-
Some of it drowned.
We'll get some
Yeah.
into that.
That
So
might
I think it's some next week, right?
It was a bad spring for that.
People throw around the agenda.
We don't know.
What else?
Who else?
Got Amy.
Amy,
Amy, and then we're done.
Real quick. The Quail Forever program, nobody showed. But it turned out good because I spent at least an hour talking to the guy, quite a while, and getting a lot of good information, and we're not giving up, so we're gonna keep trying that. Emma and I are working on, you can see the mess in their seeds and getting the jugs ready to winter sow seeds. We got a ton of seeds, go and look at the table over there, just from our front yard right here. It was
what are you
exciting.
gonna winter sow?
Hmm?
What are you gonna winter sow?
Whatever we have out here.
Whatever those seeds make.
Yeah, they're written down there,
Okay.
the native plants. And we're going to use some and see if we can sell some. Just
And talking about this real
Fall
quick,
flowers.
the bee balm is gone, but it's not wasted, because I had to clean it out with a ramp. Kyle used it for pollinator garden for a butterfly. So, Walmart station, so.
The pollinator garden over in New Meadow.
went to the Ecologic Conference and it was about tracking restoration. It was a very long day. It was very data heavy and it was a very long day. There was bits and pieces of good information there, but we had scientists, charts and stuff. But
And no whiskey.
actually, I think they did have some alcohol, but I think there was like wine there. I don't remember.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't remember. Tomorrow, I'm gonna be helping build a trail at Lieber. And Friday, I'm going to Project Wet. I've had some time off recently because my son is here. I only get to see him once a year, and so I've been taking advantage to see him.
Project Wet is very exciting. Are you familiar with Project Wet?
So it's an all-day educational program for educators. And so then they take that back to like their classrooms and stuff like that and teach the kids. So I'm going to learn that, and Ginger Davis, our geology and water person partner,
Yes.
is giving it. She's one of the presenters, but she suggested I go not only to learn the program, but to get an idea. Let me just go grab this real quick.
She found those over in upstairs.
Well, there's Project Wet and then there's Project Wild.
I've done both in my childcare.
Yeah. In your childcare.
I did both the programs in my childcare.
There you go.
So there's Project Wet, that's what these are. And then there's Wonders of the Wetlands, and then underground
I think I still have my little preschool wild book, actually.
Yeah, and these are all programs for educators to go through. So Ginger suggested that I talk to these educators at this program and see if they would like a, not 3 days in a row, but like maybe 1 a month program, and to reach out to them and get them to come in and get these programs taught to themselves.
So she is educating educators.
And speaking of funding ourselves, not that this will, but I've been working on some t-shirt ideas.
And this is for, the pollinator event that we're doing.
No, this is
Oh,
just to
just in
sell.
general? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry. Here, just. Okay, and when you look at these, what she's talking about is,
They're very rudimentary.
ordering t-shirts on demand, so you don't keep an inventory. I have a friend who actually does this for a living. There are other ones online that you can do this. I've actually utilized them for different events, different theater events I've been on. You put it online, people order it, they pay it online, it's easy to send them money, it's just, she literally just started this.
So what I was.
What, this one? Common sense. Okay, yeah, you know.
I love my neighbor.
Oh, the neighbor thing? Yeah. But they're fun, and they would be cute, and I think Amy, I think Amy has caught it because, you know, people want something fun and funny, and of course, I want bats. Everyone knows I'm a bat brain, so. And just your reaction, that's it.
That's a serious one. Show eyes.
That's boring. So anyway, just something to think about. We can address this next time when we have Corbin here. And again, we're trying to find a way to become self-sustaining. And this is one of the things. And I know that other districts have actually done this. The fact that we don't have to keep an inventory of the shirts because we don't have the real estate for it. But again, this is print on demand. They can do it on a sweatshirt. They can do it on a t-shirt. Huh? What's wrong?
I'm saying this may have political overtones.
Oh, that's too bad, because I thought that was so funny.
What?
He doesn't mean national politics.
Ignore Tim. That's
Okay. I mean, we don't have to use, but I just thought it was funny.
But these are just samples of what she was.
Right,
doing,
just
so that
samples.
gives you-
But I do like this, I do like it.
So what's the program? So the program is, these are ideas of what would go on the t-shirts.
Mhm.
So the t-shirt, people would come in here and order them
They could order them here, or they could order them online,
online.
and they would pick them up here, and they would pay here.
And
Would we have to have an inventory?
And we don't know, no, we do not have to have an inventory, it's print on demand. As far as the cost, Steve, that's something that has yet to be decided. This is a work in progress, so we're not asking for a vote at this time. It's just, she came up with the shirts. I needed the design for my friend to look at, and you probably, Mel Prather, this is what she does. And the cost would depend on which shirt they wanted. They can do a t-shirt, they can do a long sleeve shirt, they can do a sweatshirt.
I've been to some of those craft show things and they can do on hats too.
Oh yeah, we could do hats too. Yeah, absolutely. And hers is interesting because there's two different kinds. There's one where you do almost like an iron-on thing. That's not what these are. These are very much like a silk screen, although it's a silk screen frame. It's the technology for t-shirts has just really evolved, become very, very simple. The quality is quite good. You've seen my shirts. The shirts that you guys have, melted those. And then you've seen that long sleeve shirt that I have that has that big logo on it. And that's an example of the ink shirt. So it's just something to think about. And this is Project Make Money, Become Self-Sustaining. I won't call it that because that's kind of tacky.
So I
Yes.
have an idea. So one thing we did back in the day when I was in high school was we had, I forget which one it was. It was like, I don't know, one of the after school things. It was an extracurricular that we did. It was like student council, but it wasn't. But so maybe one of those, I don't remember. But one of those where what we did though was we were working, we did a t-shirt drive, that sort of did, we could do that. But then, obviously we want to do more outreach and things like that. We opened it up as a t-shirt design competition. And so then we went to open it up to the whole school or whatever, and then people, put in their designs, and then we had, a board of teachers or whatever that voted on it, which one was the best or whatever, and that was the t-shirt design. But you could almost do it with the 5th grade class or a 6th grade class at like Spencer Elementary or whatever, like go to each school and do like the best t-shirt design or whatever. And then you could do your,
Trying to get
Have your-
into
and
the
then sell 'em.
schools anymore is darn near impossible.
I heard they need an FFA advisor, 2 of them actually, if you wanna do that. You can get your start in there.
No, but just trying to
But you can open it to the
reach out.
general public. I mean, you can
Right.
honestly put it, just have a contest on Facebook or whatever, submit your design
Now, I will
choice
share
or
on
whatever.
that, I like that idea. However, I don't know what's going on with the world today. I'm part of that arts commission I told you about. We put out a contest to design the crosswalks. You get a financial award, and then also you get that crosswalk there, and we pay for all, it was their grant.
Mhm.
No one. We went to people saying, hey, will you do this? No one would do it. We went to the kids, we went to Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, we went to the Art Guild. Oh, yeah. No one would submit, and we said, we will pay you money, and we're not talking $50. We would pay you a very good, nice little scholarship to do this. We could not, the grant has been dropped because we cannot.
I never heard of it.
And now I did not handle the marketing aspect of that because, I am just an associate member, someone else did, but yeah, the Sweet Owen Arts Commission.
Hmm.
And they're the ones who just had that, Arts and Art event. with the-
So,
the
yeah,
activities.
that's the problem, getting anybody to show up to programs, getting anybody involved, doing that kind of stuff. It's a problem, and that's one of the things the gentleman Will from Pheasants Forever and I were talking about. It's a problem they're experiencing across the country. Across the country, it's just getting anybody to do anything. Yes,
There's a source.
right.
And that's why on the annual meeting, I'm really trying to give people a reason to come. And we have, oh my gosh, 12 firmly committed vendors. And we will have more as far as the committed signed vendor form, which I have. I don't have that back, so they don't count. And they can have up to 22 vendors, but I'm hoping Wells Forever will be there too, but just different sources where it gives people a reason to come. Thank you.
And then
But we will look into that though, because I would love to try to get kids involved. It's just,
I just think if it's your kid that designs the shirt, you're selling at least 15 of them to the people that,
I'm
to
buying 50
the
for myself,
family, exactly.
yeah.
So, it's
You
just,
know.
or like we did it for an agenda one year too, like we always gave the school agendas out, so they did like a contest to design those the one year. I don't know, I think,
We will try to work with them. I know that FFA, we lost our contact. So,
Well,
talking about
get
that,
new, we got
yeah, they're not
new ones
getting,
coming in.
yeah, they're not doing cows anymore. So,
Got 2 hired.
one for the middle
Oh,
school,
you
one for
did?
high school.
Milk cow.
you remember last time, they were
Mhm.
supposed to be getting cows, they asked us to
Check
buy
that
a
out.
watering station, and, I followed up with the young man, he goes, well, about that. Yeah, so they don't know what's gonna happen.
Cool.
So, I'm sorry, Amy.
Oh, it's okay. I want to talk to you before you leave.
Okay.
And just a quick question. The Board of Zoning Appeals is meeting tomorrow night about our springs in this county and the water bottling company. I don't know if that's something that
Should we
we should be involved
be
in.
a face
Yeah.
for that or not? Because I know that people stop by the office all the time, especially the water bottling company that's going on, the River Road. Because there's actually a petition signed there because the company was bought by someone new. And so I guess they have to get a new contract with the county, but,
Well, I'm hearing for a few years now that wells up
you know,
north around Keeler Road were, that was the first one, and they're going dry, losing pressure, water pressure.
this notice came to Amy and myself through Ginger, with
Yes, yes.
Geological and Water Survey, and she encouraged us to go, so.
Well, it'd be nice just to go find out what they're saying, so.
Okay, so that we'd be able to answer.
So I can, where,
Well, when we talked about this last time, you brought up that you were having calls. And I think the suggestion that came from the board was send the calls to USGS. They would probably be more knowledgeable about the water level, water tables in these rock formations than anyone else around.
And I do agree with that, I do agree. Would it be good for us to just be sitting there?
Oh, yeah, I don't object to that
Well,
at
that's
all.
what I was
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, and I agree with
Go
that.
and find out what they're saying.
But I
you
don't
know?
think we have, I don't think we should pick any side, pick sides at this time, be an advocate or.
Because really, we can't be, we have to be neutral.
Yeah, I think we're neutral.
But we can pass information on.
Certainly, yeah, but.
Let's plan a dinner date.
You wanna make sure you have the
wanna do a
right
dinner
information
date
you're
then?
passing.
Go to that and then go up to you afterwards. Maybe, we'll talk.
Yeah, I
Although you're busy tomorrow.
I have to be at Lieber at 8:30 in the morning.
I can do it. I can do it. I'll take my husband and I'll be a dinner date.
Okay.
I'm sure he'll be excited.
But once again, on this
I'll let you
issue,
know.
I think we should not take sides or offer opinions about that. I think we should be a neutral party. If we have good information that we can pass along, that's fine, but we don't want to end up in the position where people think we are the ones who should be fixing the problem. We're not in the problem fixing mode.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's easy for me to say that we are not enforcement.
Yeah.
We're not, we're not the
Yeah,
environmental police.
We've
or
said
anything.
that a lot of times,
Yeah, that's very
We're
easy
just here to help.
So,
that's it, that's all I got.
what time is it?
6:30.
Perfect on the dot.
We're looking for a motion to adjourn.
I'm so good.
Second? All in favor?
And, next December, I'll send out the date, whatever the third Tuesday is. In December, I don't have a calendar.
You'll be here on the 10th anyway, though, so you guys can, right?
Yeah, we will be here, but you could join.
Yeah, I can be there in the morning. I gotta be in Vigo County in the afternoon, though.
We're choosing 16.
Both of you. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah. And you're welcome to come to any meeting. These are open to the public. So, and I told you. I'm sorry. Oh, but you have time and you have resources, absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
You're gonna send out an email.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll send out.
The guys were-
a reminder.
Plenty of weeks.
Absolutely.
The guys this
Because I
weekend, they were
really
deer hunting in
frustrated.
the field out there harvesting, they're lined out there. Mom sent them a video the day before where there's like 7 or 8 deer standing around watching go through the combine.
Yeah, if you have any questions about
You
this.
got on beat.
just let me know.
When does, you said the application needs to be?
I need
Get it all done.
I need it.
Weather's been good.
Yeah.
Till today.
I have to submit
Tomorrow,
it to someone.
I think tomorrow we got a break and then
Yeah, so don't wait till
Fridays,
there's actually, and
it's.
because it's
Rain goes to camp.
and you can even just.
It wasn't big, but it was just.
Why do you like soil water, or why are you interested in this?
Yeah, take care.
Plain water, healthy soil, whatever. I mean, it's literally a formality, and it's just blanks I have to fill in.
Right.
And I'm sending it to the state board of.
Right.
Absolutely. I'm very excited. Yay!
Great.
Yay! Brian, definitely, if you're able to know what it is, I don't know what your schedule's like, and you don't have to say. We need the numbers. That's very exciting, and fingers crossed.
It's a big.
Yeah.
We're moving by, we're both
Thank
moving
you,
by.
and
There you go.
Jeannie, thank you. I hope you can come on the 10th. That'll be exciting. Because we need your, if you have any questions on this, Just let me know.
Here.
Here's that. See you later. Oh, here. Sorry, we have light. No, we don't have light. Oh, Steve?
Yeah.
I physically cannot change that light bulb because it's.
He's good at it though. Look at He's just good at it. You can tell your little plate. Got some explanation. You like all the native? Yeah. Right.
Like I did. But I did the preschool. I didn't do how the
Right.
I did all the preschool.
Yeah, purple coneflower, explanation.
Yeah, and this was, Gray had sunflower. So just right from out front, perfect. And tons of seeds, and we're again, Thursday, we're gonna continue picking for these are captured.
So you're gonna put them in here with some soil and let them drop, so they're like, cancer.
All out, I
My sister does this with her flower.
Yeah, does she? Yeah, there you go.
And then you can take the plants, build a trail if you want. Beaver people.
I mean, what do you?
She's gonna say Beaver.
Hannah, the assistant property manager, she put a thing out. So I said,
Sure, come help on a rainy, nasty day.
I called her at one point today, I said, are you still doing this tomorrow? And they're like, yeah, I'm like, so far it's supposed to be dry, you know. Well,
Where's your supply cabinet?
Do you have extra light bulbs somewhere?
we need
Probably this one.
So, do you guys live on Floyd Well Road, is that what you said?
Yes, we do.
Yeah?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, you have cattle or
No, we have, well, I have a couple pigs.
Yeah.
pigs?
Mhm.
I have pigs, we have ducks, and a lot of rabbits. I
Cool.
cannot eat beef. I can eat rabbit. I can eat pig. Yeah, and that's chow. I'm not, rabbit's doing okay with me, and pork's doing okay with me. So supposedly I'm not supposed to eat any mammal, but
Yeah.
Well,
What's
I'm
red
doing
meat is
okay
that?
with, I did a lot of homeopathic remedies and stuff to help with that. But I cannot do beef, I can't do dairy.
Patrick, he's like that.
Yeah.
And
You can eat chicken.
Right.
Yeah, I can eat chicken too.
and pork or beef. Can you deer? Cause he.
I don't know.
Deer
That
made
sounds a
me
lot.
sick.
Yeah, that sounds a lot.
Deer made me sick.
I don't know.
Too, I don't know.
I don't know. I would ask to think about it.
It's really hard if you could hunt deer, cause
Right.
he hunts deer.
Yeah, it's like
you
school
can't
stuff,
eat
I
it.
guess. Just lose some way.
I cook it for the family, but I don't.
Deer.
But rabbit's not bothering me.
Yes.
Take care, Holden. Happy birthday. I've seen all the
I think
pictures.
so, yeah.
Oh, happy birthday, when's your birthday?
Thursday, last Thursday.
We wouldn't find it at a party, but happy birthday.
There wasn't a party. I
It looked like a party.
I worked, so I was at,
That's what it's.
oh, those were old pictures. The ones Mom posted, yeah, those were from like last year,
Oh, okay.
2 years ago. So,
Yeah,
that's the most
you
recent
did
picture
that.
we have together.
Oh, I need to
But the
I
thing
need to
is,
close our
We
meetings.
do our annual meeting, or our
Bye, everyone.
ISDA meetings. ISDA meetings, we do our all staff. Normally they travel around the state, they do it in Indy, whatever,